going to be back to quantitative easing, which is going to be done for a multiple of reasons. One is to prop up the banks. Two, to prop up the government, because the government can't afford to pay the interest on the debt. And so the Fed is cognizant of this as much as it denies that that's what's driving policy. That is absolutely what's driving policy. But it's also the election. The Federal Reserve wants to reelect Biden. They always want to reelect the incumbent. That's the deal, right? Every time you're an incumbent, the deal is the Fed's going to help you. And, if you're the party that's on the outside trying to get in, that's a problem until you actually win. Because once you win, now you get the same cushy deal with the Fed. That's right. Whoever is in charge gets the Fed's help. That's the way it works. And it's not a coincidence, because whoever is in charge is that's the guy or gal who reappoints the Fed chairman, right? So you want to help your boss, right, if you want to keep your job. But I think, as I said, Powell knows that his chance of keeping his job in the Trump administration is slim, because even though Trump appointed him, he wanted to fire him. Yeah, I mean, as soon as he started hiking rates, he wanted to fire him. So he's not going to hire him again. He's going to replace him with somebody else, right? So the person most likely to reappoint Powell is Biden. And Biden knows this. So they want to do whatever they can. And if I'm correct that inflation is going to be picking up, it's going to be weakening the economy, we could see a more meaningful turnaround. I mean, maybe we'll even get the government to come back and officially acknowledge that we're in a recession. And, of course, once we're in recession, then there's going to have to be stimulus, right? The government just can't do nothing. The politicians aren't going to say, the economy is in recession, we've got an increase in unemployment, but our hands are tied. Sorry, we can't do anything. So tough, right? We can't help because we've got too much debt now, so we just can't borrow any more money. Everybody still pretends that it's free, right? They're talking about, during COVID we had no problem finding the money. We just conjured it up out of thin air, which means whenever we need money, we can just conjure it up, right? That's what they talk about for the reparations. When someone says, how are we going to get trillions of dollars for reparations? And the response is, well, where do we get the COVID money, right? We get it from the tooth fairy, from the man on the moon. We can have any amount of money we want, right? That's so why deny anybody anything? So in an election year, the voters are not going to get denied, right? The government is going to do whatever it can, which means the Federal Reserve is going to cooperate to make it all possible. So inflation is coming back. The economists, the Wall Street strategists are completely wrong. They're wrong on the economy. They're wrong on inflation. And that's why all their investment decisions are wrong. They're buying the stuff that they should be selling, and they're selling or not buying the stuff they should be buying. But we're doing the opposite. And we've been doing the opposite because I'm confident that I'm right and that the crowd is wrong, as they usually are. The majority is usually wrong, especially when it comes to investments, except they can be wrong for a long time because it's a numbers game, right? Warren Buffett said, I think, in the short run, the market is a voting machine, right? It does whatever the people think or it's going to do. But in the long run, it's a weighing machine. And that means the fundamentals are what count in the long run. And that's where I'm invested. I'm invested for the fundamentals for the long run. I've got the winning hand, right? Everybody else is just bluffing. But the key is to stay in the game long enough to have the showdown where you get to collect all the chips. And I think if you keep betting on gold and silver, call up Shift Gold. And, sales have been slow all over the country right now, even though we're above 2,000, even though gold was slightly down on the week. Right? Oil went up, black gold, but gold was down slightly, but we're still above 2,000. I think we're around 2,020. Gold stocks actually inched up a bit on the week because they really got beat up the week before. So they just moved up a little bit. Nothing big, but they're great bargains right now. I put quite a bit more of my own money into the mining stocks in my own account, and anybody who likes these stocks and should be doing the same thing.